Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Threads, the textile innovation show, with me, Urtish Robinson.
And me, Harry McMullen.
This week's show is sponsored by Innovate, a 5-day virtual event that connects innovators from across the textile and apparel industry to find suppliers, evaluate the competitive environment, attend educational programs, and much more. The event takes place from the 25th to the 29th of October 2021, and if you would like to register for free, then please click on the link below.
But first, in this week's news, industry experts speaking at the ASBCI Survival of the Smartest Digital Conference have said that the textile market will use the COVID-19 pandemic to become smarter and more agile than ever. Some of the key speakers at the conference noted that a high percentage of products will be made closer to home, and innovation in new distribution models and multi-channel e-commerce strategies will become more popular throughout the supply chain.
Vintana, an industry leader in 3D content management software, has launched its new 3D digital showroom, which allows brands to create secure, shareable 3D digital showrooms instantly and easily with their existing designs. By using 3D versions of products known as digital twins, brands can showcase garments before physical samples have been produced, which can save money and provide a differentiated experience for customers, the company claims. Ashley Crowder, the CEO and co-founder of Vintana, says the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated the need for such solutions.
Finally, global online fashion retailer ASOS and its supplier Fashion Enter are implementing a Kornit Presto printer to explore the future opportunities presented by on-demand manufacturing. The Kornit Presto is an advanced, zero-waste, single-step solution for a direct-to-fabric printing, enabling Fashion Enter, based in the UK, to rapidly deliver test and repeat small product runs on behalf of ASOS and forge a low-impact production process, the company say. Simon Platts, responsible sourcing director at ASOS, says adopting innovative new technologies like Kornit Presto is vital to reduce the impact of fashion right across the supply chain.
Now, onto today's show, and early this week, Fiona Harron caught up with František Ria-Scott, the founder of Confitex, who has developed functional and fashionable leak-proof underwear without a plastic layer.
So, hi František, thanks so much for joining me today. Confitex has, of course, made waves in the intimate apparel market with its functional and fashionable leak-proof underwear that is also sustainable. And it seems like quite a challenge developing leak-proof underwear without the conventional PU plastic layer. So how did you approach this challenge, and how long did it take to develop the new textile?
I think I will take us back to 2013, where it all started, and it started on the ski slopes of New Zealand when I was part of ski racing programs. And it's a place where it's a big challenge to find a stop for bathroom breaks, especially when you are in a ski race suit that has got a zip at the back, and you are in the middle of the mountain and you're stuck there basically. So that kind of prompted me to think about all other athletes around the world and their challenges for bathroom breaks. And so that thinking kind of led to our research when we discovered that there is a massive market with people experiencing various degrees of bladder leakage. And there was literally nothing out there in the market that would not look utilitarian, that would not look like a nappy. And so I struggled with that. And so I thought that with my fashion and textile background, I could help and create something not as humiliating. So, but from the very beginning, I knew I could not use the traditional polyurethanes to stop any leakage, because they can't be shaped, they can't be stitched and sealed, they can't be molded at high temperatures without a compromise on its waterproofing. Because as soon as you apply any higher temperature to them, they break, they melt, and the performance goes out of the window. So I knew that if we wanted to create lingerie style products for bladder leakage, we had to create our own waterproof textile, so that we would not be limited by the polyurethane lack of performance. And it took about 12 months of R&D to create our globally patented technology. There was a lot of time into studying the microscopic world of the textiles and different textile treatments. But I kind of struggled with finding the appropriate equipment in my own country to create the textile. I had all the specifications, I had all the ideas how to make it. I could not find the equipment in any Western worlds that could help me to finalize the textile. So I decided from early on to move to Asia, and I set up our own Confitex factory here, and that's how we managed to create our technology. And the fact that we created our own factory that enabled us to continue our innovations and create more technologies, especially for our absorbent textiles, where we can decrease the bulk of our product and increase its absorbance.
It's great to see that efforts are being made by Confitex to help break the taboo surrounding leak-proof underwear, and this focus on stylish and sustainable products made without the PU plastic layer is a particularly interesting concept.
Yes, and we should also add that Confitex recently received 2 prizes at the Plus X Awards for its advanced leak-proof underwear. František discusses this in the full interview available on the Talking Threads homepage.
Now it's time for a short video from this week's sponsor Innovate, and after that we'll be speaking to the Director of Sustainability at 37.5 about a new technology capable of enhancing biodegradation.
Now our next guest is Blair Canis, Director of Sustainability at 37.5. Jessica Owen caught up with her earlier this week to talk about the company's new technology that enhances the biodegradation of discarded textiles.
So this new additive then, it allows these 37.5 fibres to biodegrade. So are you able to tell me about the additive and how it works exactly?
Sure. So the additive itself is proprietary blend, so I can't get into too much detail on the exact makeup of it, but it is an additive that's permanently embedded into the fibers, and it really just speeds up the natural degradation process that happens if a polyester fiber were to make it into a landfill situation. So it doesn't cause your clothing or your bedding to biodegrade faster if it's just sitting on the shelf in the store or hanging in your closet. But once it gets into a landfill where it has all of these microbes that are already there, it will speed up the process to help that breakdown take place. So it doesn't just fragment the polyester, turn it into smaller and smaller pieces. It actually converts it to naturally occurring byproducts. The same thing that would happen if you waited much longer in a landfill for the same process to take place naturally.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, that was one of my questions actually, is whether it actually biodegraded or whether it fragmented, because I think there's a lot of, I don't think some people state that as clearly as they should, perhaps, so that's good to know. So how does this additive compare to others that are on the market? I mean, why is it so interesting?
So there's a few additives on the market. I think some do just cause that fragmentation to take place. This one was exciting to us because when we were looking at the different testing data that was out there, it really was showing to speed up the biodegradation process, but to do it in a way that at the end of the day, there was only the naturally occurring byproducts left. And so that was really important to us. This market launch we did of the enhanced biodegradation in January was really the culmination of 3 years of research of looking at different additives that were available that claimed to enhance biodegradation, and to pick a one that we thought really performed the best, but also was having the type of biodegradation process take place that we were looking for.
Okay, and may I ask how long it actually takes the fibres to biodegrade with this additive then? And you said the conditions that are needed are landfill. I mean, could it also biodegrade anywhere else, or is it just specific to that?
So that is a really complicated question, actually, that as we kind of dug into the research, there's a couple ways to answer it. So The standard testing for enhanced biodegradation is ASTM D5511, which is done in a lab and accelerates the landfill conditions. And so when you look at those test results, which we did on our fibers, it shows almost complete breakdown of the 37.5 polyester fibers with the additive in less than 2 years. So really fast. We're currently testing with nylon, which is a little bit slower, but still kind of in that same time range. However, we wanted to take a really science-based approach to this topic because we knew there was a lot of regulation out there to make sure that we were being completely transparent with our partners and our consumers about what was actually happening. So we worked with an industry expert who was actually able to take our lab data and then look at scientific studies that were out there about what actually took place in landfills and project out how long it was going to take these fibers to break down in an actual landfill. And it's actually much longer. And so I think that this was a learning experience for us too as a company of just how to talk about this accurately. Because while the breakdown is about 2 years in a lab, in a landfill, it's actually more like decades. So when regular polyester goes to a landfill, it takes centuries to break down. Some might claim, if ever, it takes a really, really long time to the point where it's hard to even quantify. And so with this additive, it shortens the process significantly based on our projections, but it's still taking place over decades, not the 2 years that you'd see in the lab.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that 37.5's technology doesn't just fragment textiles and that it does cause them to properly biodegrade, which is really important.
Definitely, and while the company has made a valiant effort in reducing the biodegradation time from centuries to decades, clearly there's still room for improvement and further innovation in this space.
Well, that's all we have time for today, but join us again next week for another update on the latest textile innovations making the headlines.
We'll see you then.